You're listening to Instantly 20, an original podcast where we discuss navigating life in your early 20s.
I'm Ash.
And I'm Keeleigh.
And today you're listening to The Game of Life
Career Edition. Why did we say that in time?
So exciting.
So the reason why this episode's called Career Edition is because we were just thinking to ourselves, like, life is so like the game of life, especially when you're finishing high school and you're thinking about where you're going to go next, because there really is the career path or the university path. And
it asks you that at the start of the game.
it does. So this episode's called Career Edition because Ash and I both chose career first up. In saying that, we did go do some study, but we didn't quite go to university. We did more like the Cert 3, Cert 4 sort of situation.
Yeah. But before we get into that, we're going to do our Lucky Girl Syndrome segment.
So I'm going to go first. This is a really quick and cute one, but basically I have a weird name, Keeleigh, spelled K-E-E-L-E-I-G-H. There's different ways to spell Keeleigh, like K-E-E-L-Y, but basically I've never once been to a market or a store and seen my name written on something. Like, if you want my name on something, it has to be personalised. But a couple of weeks ago, my family and I were in Queensland, and not only did we find my name, but we also found my brother's name, which is also another like very uncommon name, on bookmarks at a market. And I know that's so small and random, but like I've gone through 22 years of my life without ever seeing my name written on something. So like, even though it was like not the cutest
like rare.
book, it was very rare. Like, we had to buy them, even though they weren't like the cutest things I've ever seen. Like, they weren't necessarily like nice looking, but we were like, just for the memes.
Cute.
So
I
that was
love
mine.
that. My Lucky Girl Syndrome moment is the missing lipstick. So my favourite Holy Grail lipstick was missing in Keeleigh's car. And all this time I had no idea. I reckon you stole it.
How dare you? The funniest thing this morning though is Ash was like, I can't think of my lucky girl syndrome. And I was like,
I just don't have one. I've been unlucky.
And
what's going on?
Reached into like the little compartment and I grabbed it. And I was like, I've got one.
Here's your lucky girl syndrome. And I'm like, what the heck? My lipstick that's been missing for a solid month. Like, where did you find that?
It's just sitting there waiting.
She had it the whole time. I must have left it in your car, but
literally from the last time we recorded a podcast.
Found it, and it is my favorite thing. And I was running low on my one that I had to rebuy. Thanks, Keeleigh. So
you're the one that left it.
Anyway, so we're going to jump into the episode, knowing what you want to do for a career, which is the main topic.
Just before we start, we'll just give you a little rundown about our careers and goals, but you guys know I'm a dancer, I'm a performer. I actually do a lot of random different things, but I did my diploma of dance when I finished high school, and yeah, that's kind of what I did for my education. But over the last few years, I really thought about it, and I've worked out I love so many other things that are more than just performing, like that are on the other side of the table of the creative industry. I've realized I love videography, I love photography, music editing, stage managing, production, and it's just like I wouldn't have realized any of that unless I went and studied my dance course. So I think it's such a nice thing that I've found through doing something else, if that makes sense. But I guess long-term goals with my career at the moment, I'm really hoping to get on a cruise ship or become a performer at Universal Studios or Disneyland. Those are my massive big goals I want to hit in my life. Yeah, so with my dancing, that actually falls into a lot of different things. I feel like I haven't really elaborated on what I do for work, but dancing falls into corporate events, weddings, birthday parties, christenings, that sort of stuff. But it also could be an awards night, etc. So I've done a lot of dance performances for those sort of events. But then on the other hand, I do kids entertainment, which I love. Been doing that for quite a few years now. So I get to dress up as Disney princesses.
You've been a mermaid. I have to say that really quickly.
Yes.
So exciting.
So last year I got to learn from a friend how to become a real life mermaid. If you look at my Instagram, it's on there somewhere, but I fully can swim in a real tail.
The whole tail,
The whole situation. It's H2O. It's the real deal.
I've got a special power. Literally. Living out the
I
H2O.
literally love it. Anyway, so long story short is at the moment I feel quite successful in what I'm doing, and I think it's been really fun to explore new avenues of where my career could go. But yeah, we'll go into this in another episode because we want to get one of our mutual friends on who has had the uni experience. But we're at a point in our lives where we're actually starting to consider whether or not we do go do some more courses and stuff. But yeah, it's pending thoughts. We're only 22. We're so young and we've got so many years to figure out what we want to do, and uni will always be there.
Exactly, yeah.
Sorry, that was really long, but I have so many things to say.
So good. I might jump onto that and say with my career, I'm a makeup artist, and what that looks like for me is freelancing. I really love running my own business, and I want to keep like pushing that and expanding on that. Yeah, I really want to specialize in bridal and event. And for some reason, I just love event coordination. So I don't know if that pathway might look like me going to university and doing like a degree.
Ooh, I've never heard
Uni
her talk
queen.
about
I know.
uni.
I literally think I said earlier. I can't remember. Did I say earlier?
I think you probably just said it to me. What were you
Yeah,
gonna say?
maybe it was our conversation that I've never ever thought uni would be a pathway for me in my life ever. And considering that like event planning or like coordinate, something along the lines, I haven't done any research, but I think that
Yeah,
might be
cool.
on the cards. Who knows? We'll see. But I love what I do for work, and I think that's so exciting that like I wake up and I'm so looking forward.
Yes, that's such an important thing.
So yeah, I love what I do and I feel very passionate about it. And the end goal is to open a salon one day.
So that's the other thing. Ash and I are like we have big goals to like be business owners, and we have so many different business ideas. But yeah, I think it's really like cool that we both have very similar interests in like what we want to do, because we always are bouncing each other's ideas and like career goals off each other. And you haven't told the story of why you decided to be a makeup artist.
Yeah, this is cute. This actually involves Keeleigh. So my reason why I wanted to become a makeup artist, well, firstly, like the passion, like I loved doing other people's makeup. And then I was deciding what I wanted to do after school. And I had opened up my Instagram account to do like freelancing work. And Keeleigh was like, what did you say to me? You said, why don't after high school you go and get your qualification for it? And I was like, damn, okay, that could work. And then my mom said, why don't you do beauty therapy? Kind of like sum it all up together, which really they're two very different things.
So true.
I did do both of them eventually, but I think, I was working in a salon being a beauty therapist, like doing facials. And my boss was very like, you excel in makeup. Like, why aren't you doing makeup? Not to say like I wasn't doing well at beauty, but I think she could just see that there was just more drive there.
More passion.
And like I was the only person offering makeup services. So I think that was, looking back, it was like kind of clear. I knew that this was going to be more than just like fun. Or there was more to it, really, is what I'm saying. And then, I
She realized she could make money off it.
started incoming from it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think as well, like I've got qualification in business.
That's actually another thing that Ash and I wanted to touch on, because we're actually big advocates for doing like TAFE. I did a certificate in tourism when I was in year 12, and Ash has done a certificate in business. And I think that like we were discussing this earlier, but uni is a hard one, because I feel like there's a lot of pressure on young people to go to uni as soon as they finish high school, or like to have it all together really quickly. But I think it's so important to take the time to actually figure out what you want to do, because if you go to uni straight away and you don't like the course you're doing, you're still going to end up with a nasty HECS debt.
It's a very big commitment. It's time, it's money.
And people don't talk about it.
Look, TAFE, you're going to have probably about 12 months of your time.
It's quick.
And I think that's just like a quick, easy route to go. You still end up with a certificate at the end. It's not going to be, what's it called? A master's or a degree?
You're not getting like a massive degree.
I think the highest you can get is a diploma. But I think to an employer, you've at least shown, hey, like I've gone to the effort to go and do something.
Yeah, exactly. And then also back to uni pathways, if you do decide to go and do like your TAFE courses, they're actually like really good for getting you into the degree you'd like to do later. They actually give you brownie points to get into like different courses that you'd be interested in without an ATAR.
That's exactly right. And like when I go for jobs and I say I've had experience working in an office and putting my administration and like my certificate in business to use.
Yeah.
It's really impressive. And people go, oh, like you're so young. Like, why have you got that? I'm like, girl, I'm not just all beauty.
I was just prepared.
I got brains too.
Yeah, exactly. Long story short, basically what we wanted to say is like, uni isn't the be all end all. Like, I think it's an amazing thing to be able to do. And if you know what you want to do with your life, like do it.
So impressed.
Oh my gosh. I have so much admiration for people that are in uni, because like I hear the stuff that they do.
It's hard.
It is hard. And like we're going to discuss this in our university edition of this podcast, like when we get our guest on.
Yeah. We've got a guest like we don't have experience at university.
We have no idea.
So like we are so like blind mice. Like we don't know what's going on at that end.
Exactly.
Because it's funny, like it's so true, the game of life. It's one or the other. I mean, unless you want to sit on your mum's couch and be like a potato.
A potato.
A bludger.
Mr. Potato. Yeah. Which, if you are, that's fine. We're not judging.
Jealous. I wish I could do that. I think at the end of the day, if you are stuck or struggling with what to do, TAFE is going to be your best friend. Do something.
Pathways.
Go a couple days a week, work a couple days a week. Like, you're still putting one foot in front of the other, and you're not just in this like awkward little, oh shoot, like don't know what to do. I just finished school. Like, I mean, if you want to go traveling, that's like a whole different.
Traveling.
That's like another.
That's a whole other episode.
But I think if you can somehow incorporate study into your working life when you're not sure of what's going on.
Oh, another thing I wanted to say with this is like, when you finish school, if you can just like try different industries without qualification, like to figure out what you're actually like, that's such an important lesson to be learnt, because I have friends that work in hospitality. Oh my goodness, I respect you so much. I could never do that again. I've had like 5 different hospo jobs, hated every single one of them.
That's
I mean, like
hard.
Like not that I hated them, but like I just was not my favorite thing to do. And I have decided I will never do hospitality again if I can avoid it.
See, I've always been in the retail corner, which I feel like I'm the same. Like I could never do hospitality because like my anxiety would spike.
It's so hard.
Like I get just trying to order. Imagine me trying to take the order.
I think that hospo workers should be getting paid way more than they are. My gosh. It's a hard one to be in. But even not just hospitality, like if you're able to go just try new things, even go do a traineeship, an apprenticeship, or even like when people are able to do like work experience and like internships and things, that's such important lessons to be learnt, because then at least you can kind of have a taste of like what it's actually like to be in a career or an industry like that. So then if you do want to go spend all this money on your uni degree and commit quite a few years of your life to that particular thing, at least you know if you actually like it or not.
You just touched on apprenticeships. I think
yes.
as well. I think if you're someone in high school and you don't quite know what you want to do and like uni isn't looking on the cards for you, apprenticeship is amazing. However, if you are leaving school and you're like, oh, like what could I be doing? There are jobs that pay better. And I don't think, unless you've got a real passion for like, I feel like boys tend to go more into like construction and like plumbing,
electrician,
yeah, like all those kind of things. Mechanic, what the hell? Yeah, mechanic. And trades, I think. If you already have like a common interest in that and like you kind of feel like, you know, that could be like a pathway, amazing.
Do it.
But if you don't know, it's just like an underpaying job and you are required to do a lot. It's a lot of time, and that could be an extra few years at TAFE.
Yeah, exactly.
Where you may as well
have just done the course.
Just go to TAFE and do your 3 weeks there and have a job that pays you better than apprenticeship.
Especially if you're going to decide to do an apprenticeship and you're living out of home, be really careful with what your bills are going to look like and like how much you're actually going to get paid, because that's a really hard thing to navigate. I shared experience with that.
I think, like staying at home while you're doing an apprenticeship, like
if you can, do it.
If you're in a position where you can't do that, then looking at something other than an apprenticeship.
Definitely, they do not pay the best, and sometimes like if you do them, sometimes they are for free because you have to do a course instead. I know a friend doing something like that at the moment. So yeah, just got to look at your options and decide what's actually best for you in your career, and don't just like fall into something because you feel like you have to.
Have a think about it. Google, YouTube, research.
Absolutely.
I don't know.
TikTok.
It's hard. Not TikTok. Anything but TikTok.
What do you mean? TikTok's the best. Like I literally go on TikTok as Google now. It's hilarious.
Yeah, true. It's like, what's wrong with me? Let me just TikTok it.
I actually think TikTok's actually like, just, I know this is not related to the topic, but TikTok is so good for finding out stuff. Like my entire TikTok feed is just like other dancers expressing like what they do in like a day in the life on a cruise ship dancer and like all this sort of stuff. I love that. It gives you like such good, like very in-depth knowledge of someone's like day to day, which I think is really cool. So use your TikTok.
Okay, yeah, TikTok can be very informative. Yeah. I think just having a research, having a play, if not TAFE is literally just keep coming back to work and TAFE. Not that you have to study, but I think
it's good to have something under your belt. Add it to your toolkit.
I was about to say that, yeah. Just having something in your back pocket where you can kind of like pull it out when you need.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I don't really have much else to say about this. Like, I think we'll elaborate more as we get older and as our careers progress on this sort of topic. But like, I think it was good to touch on it.
But I must say, it's okay to change your mind.
Yeah,
It's never too late for university, and it's never too late for a career change.
absolutely.
So if you're someone that you go, you know, I feel pretty certain right now what I want to do, and I've been pretty certain about it for the past 5 years, I think, like, I'm not going to sit here and say I'm never going to ever change my mind.
Yeah, absolutely. My mum always says like she still doesn't know what she wants to do in life. She does. She's got a job, but like I think she's
It's hard
still
to
so
know. Like,
Yeah.
it's just being an adult. It's so hard to know. And I think enjoying what you do for work, it's important, because like you don't want to show up every day and be like, oh, like, gosh, I hate this place. Like, I want to move on. Like, you gotta enjoy
If you
it.
hate your job, probably move on.
I
If you don't
just
like
had
it, leave.
a little job change recently, and it's because I just felt like it wasn't aligning with my lifestyle or my personal values anymore. And it's okay to part ways with a job.
Yeah.
It's okay to go, you know, I still want to stay in that same career, well, like along the lines of that career, but just not the right environment for me anymore, and understanding when it's time to say goodbye to something.
Yeah, exactly. Because you don't have to stay in the same job forever just because you like feel like you have to. Yeah.
If not, there's lots of things that you can do from home. Jobs from home are really great. I think a lot of people experience that during COVID times.
Actually, we're going to talk about COVID in another episode, but I do think that COVID was the perfect reset for so many people. Because yeah, it just made people like really think hard and fast about like where they're at, where they want to be. And I feel like a lot of people found new things that they enjoyed and that they loved in that period of time. And I actually sometimes think it was like a positive.
A lot of businesses came about it, lots of career changes, people kind of putting a pause on it and reflecting and going, okay, like, what is my next move? And I am like, I can relate, because I'm someone that's always like, okay, when is my next move? Like, what am I going to do to keep on like building myself up on this, in my microphone, building myself up on this ladder that gets me to the top.
Yeah.
Not to the top, but like, what's my end goal?
It's all right.
Like,
You're allowed to be at the top.
How am I going to achieve that?
Yeah, I agree. I think, yeah, exactly. You just got to keep moving forward, setting new goals for yourself. Like, I think it's really important.
So I think to conclude, that is our little bit of a Game of Life career edition. Keep an eye out for our university edition.
Yeah, we're really excited to get our mutual friend on. I feel like she's actually got good stories she'll be able to share about the uni
She
experience.
is the kind of girl that gets like high distinctions in most things.
Yeah, she's like the typical uni.
She's,
what you want to be.
yeah, like the perfect mold of, okay, like that's what I want to be. You know, when you start off the school year or like the university year and you're just like, oh, like I'm going to have all of my new pens and highlighters and my books, and I'm going to be so organized and have a schedule, and it never, ever ends up happening that way.
I feel like she makes it happen.
I think she makes it
a good
happen. She
studier.
pulls it all together.
That girl, sometimes she'll be FaceTiming you and you're just having a chat and you realize she's doing a full on like hectic essay. And I'm like, how are you focusing on what I'm saying and having a conversation with me while writing about like the historical context of blah, blah, blah. What?
She's amazing. Last time we hung
up to
out and she was at my place, I was fully just cooking us dinner and we had a movie on and I was just chatting her ear
And
off.
she still does
She
it.
whipped out a full essay like that was due the next day. I mean,
And they're good.
naughty that she left it to the last minute, but I was like, okay.
I don't
I'm
know
like,
if
here
does
she
it.
is. We're talking about how she's like the golden child and how she's like, you know, the perfect mold of
And then she's like leaving last minute essays.
yeah, don't do that, guys. Don't be
Bad.
naughty. I used to do that in TAFE all
Me
the
too.
time. You did?
Well, I did it.
Oh my
my
gosh.
full-time course. I would do things every single time the night
I feel
before.
like in the end it just always comes back to like doing it last minute. I was always that way in school. Always left things like that.
You know what though? I kind of like leaving it to last minute because it makes me feel like I have to get it done and I will get it done.
No, I just half-ass it.
Really?
Yeah.
I do things
I
way
just
better
do
last
whatever
minute.
I can to get past it. I'm like, let's just pray that no one pulls me up on this.
That's hilarious.
Anyway, guys, thank you for listening to this episode. If you have any thoughts or contributions to this, please join our Facebook community. That is where we talk about our episodes. We discuss, you know, reiterate any like main points.
Bit of behind the scenes content.
Yeah, there's like some things that you'll see over there that you won't see on the Instagram.
Yeah. And also, if you are listening on Spotify, please leave us a 5-star. And if you are on Apple Podcasts or anywhere else that you can actually leave a review, we would love to hear your thoughts.
We'd really appreciate that. And please also DM us if you have any requested episodes.
Yes.
We want to be interactive with you guys and we want to give you what you want. You also might see some polls come up of our next few episodes that we'll be releasing. So listen out for that. And thank you for joining.
Thank you so much, everyone. Stay tuned.
Bye.